Awesome. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Brave and the Boys.
Yeah, this is our fourth episode.
I believe so.
Yeah, so thank you, viewers. If you're still watching, new viewers, I don't know why you haven't already started. Why you got to go back and watch the old ones? It's not going to make sense. We're a very serialized podcast.
You might just want to skip the first one at least.
Yeah, maybe not the first one. The first one was more of a trial run. I guess all of our podcasts have been kind of a trial run. Um,
Basically.
but but I am your host, Jake Spencer
And I'm Jordan.
Perez.
Listen, it says it on my Zoom. It's fine.
It's fine. I'm pretty sure our viewers know our first and last names, anyways.
All 10 of them.
We have 11 subscribers, by the way.
Wow. And one of them is actually two of them is us.
Yes, I do comment on all of our own videos. Speaking of which, if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you. Go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you can know when we upload our weekly video.
hmm hmm I got to start doing that myself. I haven't hit like on a single one of our videos yet.
You don't smash that like button?
I haven't. Should I
Jordan just,
start?
I think you should start. You should go smash the like buttons right now.
Ooh. Oh, I might have to do it after the podcast.
So what topics are we covering again today?
I think we can go over some of our recent purchases because I've definitely bought a few things since last one. Um, I have a couple of opinions on a very controversial book, Batman Damned, which I had just showed off last podcast. And any other topics you're looking forward to, Jake?
Yeah, we could talk a little bit about what we're currently reading. So kind of like you mentioned about Batman Damned, and then
Mhm.
we could also, briefly talk about our suggested topic of the week,
Mm.
which was the difference between, like, the pros and cons of physical versus digital comics.
Right, which I gotta give a shout out for Paul who gave us that idea topic on our Twitter last week.
Yeah, I saw him also post. Is he like streaming games now?
I think so. I thought I saw something on Twitter about it.
Then okay, so we gotta watch. We gotta watch his. I gotta watch it just because he's watched all of our videos so far.
Oh yeah, I got to go back and see if he saves those recordings.
Oh, it's fleeting. It's just live.
I have no idea. I hope it's recorded so we can still watch it.
We're some terrible friends, aren't we?
I just saw it the other day in all honesty, and I always get tweets at least a day late.
Yeah, I know you're not the biggest on Twitter. Do you have access to our social media? Like, do you ever?
No. Listen, I just follow and create, and that's it.
Yeah, you're just an artist, man. You don't need all the other
Uh,
things tying you down.
yeah, you're our PR department as well as a co-host,
Uh,
secondary host.
yeah, think I'm kind of the star. I'm the Batman. You're the Robin,
Eh,
and you're not
you're.
even a good Robin. You're
Don't call
you're
me
like the
Damian Wayne.
no. You wish you were the Demon Son. You're like Duke Thomas.
If you're Batman, you're what's the what's his name? Uh Jean Claude Van Damme. What's his name? I don't remember.
John Paul Valley.
John Paul Valley. Thank you.
So someone's selling a copy of Nightfall on eBay right now from Germany for
Ooh,
309.
but is it in German?
I actually didn't even check. Didn't even check. I almost bought it today and I didn't even check.
Like, I think that'd be kind of important.
I don't even read them anyways.
You just like looking at them,
If the spine's in English, that's all that matters.
dude. There is no writing on those spines. It's just art.
And yeah, that's all that matters,
It says Nightfall on the bottom, and then the rest is all created art.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to hold off on it. I've been going as a little bit omnibus crazy, but I'm finally rescuing my collection tomorrow.
Yay! I saw you posted on Twitter that your collection had dwindled since just because the rest is in the storage, right?
Yeah, like I posted a photo of everything I bought since April,
Mm-hmm.
and I posted to the Omnibus Collector Reddit, which is like a very good Reddit. Even though I posted our last episode video and they didn't give it a single upvote.
That's how it is.
Yeah, they're a tough crowd, but it's getting some good. I think it's at 15 upvotes so far, so it's kind of breaking the internet.
Wow. Dude,
Um,
you're the new Kim K.
I think I am. I bought a couple nerd shirts to have things to wear for the podcast.
Are you wearing a shirt that you currently have never read a single issue of?
I've read X-Men before. I mean, not actually X-Men per se, but I had a Dark Avengers trade, um, where I think
That
Legion was the bad guy.
that doesn't count. Didn't even say X-Men versus Avengers.
It had like a dark Wolverine. I forget who he was though.
Are you talking about Sabretooth?
I don't know if it was Sabretooth, man. He had Wolverine claws.
Yes.
Oh, who's Dark Wolverine in Dark Avengers?
Dude, I'm not the biggest Marvel comic guy, in all honesty. I mean, I got a couple, but
That is something we're gonna talk about right now. That's my rant. Went to Target, not a single shirt of DC.
really?
Not a single goddamn shirt. The only I searched all around the store because I was looking for DC merch. I found one Batman action figure and I found some Wonder Woman Harley Quinn socks in the female girl section.
I'm I think it's because Target you said Target, right?
Yeah,
I think Target has a deal with Disney
but
for a lot of the licensing of their merch.
I mean probably, but they had non-Disney stuff like a bunch of Naruto. I don't know, like they had cool shit, but not a
Yeah.
single DC thing. And then I went to Kohl's because I had to do an Amazon return. I don't want anyone here to think I was actually going to Kohl's. Um,
Your favorite
and
place to shop, right?
Yeah, and I bought a Batman shirt, but it's super long and tall. But I figured
Hmm.
no one, it like goes to like my knees, but I figured no one would be able to tell from the waist down.
So you're saying is you're gonna give it to me since I'm the taller of the both of us.
I'm taller.
No, I
Um,
am definitely taller.
and then I bought a couple of shirts off Amazon that I'll be showing off soon,
Dope.
just in case because I know people watch for the fashion.
Of course, like what I'm wearing today is a free LG shirt that I was given maybe like 2 years ago.
Show them the back, show them the eye.
Oh, I'll show them the eye at the end of the episode. I'll leave them something to look forward to.
Show them the binding. Um, so do you want to do our hauls first?
Yes, I'm excited because I did get something that I've been looking forward to.
That's awesome. I want to shout out this selection of haul to Target's BOGO
Mhm.
50% off sale. So buy one omnibus, get one 50% off. Um, I haven't taken the plastic off some of them. Um, I have gotten some other ones too, but I'm waiting until next week just because I'm trying to space out what I have to show. Um, but I'll go first this time. Up first is the Super Sons Omnibus.
Oh,
The extended one. So there actually came out with two editions of this. There was the original one that just covered Super Sons.
hmm.
Um, and then what Super Sons 1 through 12 and then Superman issues leading into it. But after Super Sons came out, they came out with the new series called Challenge of the Super Sons.
Hmm.
And they re-released the omnibus for like 20 extra bucks, changed it from white to blue, and added in the Challenge of the Super Sons. So I love Super Sons. I own it in single issues. Never bought the trades of it though, but I do own it in single issues. I own almost all of Challenge of the Super Sons, but towards the end of it was when I stopped collecting. Um, so this is awesome. It's going to go great with my most hyped up omnibus of the year, the Superman omnibus that's coming out. But basically, this story covers the rivalry and eventual friendship of Superman's son, Jonathan Kent, and Batman's son, Damian Wayne. And it's just so good. Have you read any of Super Sons or
I never read any of the issues while they were coming out. Now, I'm probably gonna borrow that omnibus for you first.
show this cover right here? This cover is incredible.
Yeah, and it mimics the eventual cover from Batman, where it's Superman with Lois and Batman with Catwoman.
Yes.
Mhm.
Um, great omnibus that I'm really happy about, and I got a good price on it.
That's
Um,
awesome.
do you want to go back and forth or want me to keep going?
You take the next. I only got one, but it's one that I've been looking forward to.
Next is a book that everyone talks about. It's called the Planetary Omnibus.
I was looking at this one too.
Um, what I've heard about this is it's by Warren Ellis, who's an amazing writer.
Mhm.
Planetary is kind of like it takes a lot of common tropes from superhero comic books and kind of turns them on their head. But what it's a good thing about Planetary at least is that it's a complete story. So I don't have to worry about reading like 15 other things in order to get to it. It's really self-contained in its own universe. I mean, there is a crossover with Batman eventually. But yeah, I don't know much about it other than everyone talks about it. In almost every post I've ever done of what omnibuses should I buy, or every one that I've ever read, there's always at least 2 recommendations for Planetary. So wish I had more to tell you guys about it. It's always hard showing off something that I literally know nothing about. But that's the fun thing about comics is you get to buy stories you've already read and you get to buy ones that are brand new. But I guess one thing that'll show off is just one of my favorite looking omnibuses without the dust jacket on. So go ahead and show that off right now.
Ooh.
Look at how sexy this is.
That looks amazing.
There's an absolute edition of this, but it doesn't collect a single page more than the omnibus does, and the omnibus was way cheaper. But let me see one thing. It says Elijah Snow, Chiquita Wagner, and the drummer, 3 people who walk the world in search of strangeness and wonder, uncovering things others wish were left covered. They are the mystery archaeologists, explorers of the planet's secret history, charting the unseen borders of a fantastic world. Then it says, deliver these epic, mind-bending tale of interdimensional peacekeeping force tasked with tracking down the evidence of superhuman activity. These mystery archaeologists uncover unknown paranormal secrets in history, such as World War II supercomputer that can access other universes, a ghostly spirit of vengeance, and a lost island of dying monsters. Now the entire series is collected in hardcover, including Planetary 1 through 27, Planetary Batman, Planetary JLA, and Planetary Authority. So I don't know what to expect. I can't wait to read it and tell you guys about it. But I'm excited.
Yeah, tell me about it. Cool.
And then one last one. This isn't an omnibus, this is a trade, but I love podcasts and I love comic books, so I try to listen to comic book podcasts when I can. And recently, Kevin Smith, who has my favorite podcast with Mark Bernardin called Fat Man Beyond, they had Ed Brubaker on as a guest. Ed Brubaker is an amazing comic book writer. He worked on Captain America, X-Men, and Gotham Central. Also done a lot of Batman. And he kind of got I mean, he's really famous. Like, he invented the Winter Soldier. He's the one that killed Captain America. So he's a great writer, ballsy writer. But he left and started doing a bunch of creator-owned titles. So they don't release in single issues. They just release as trades. They all have the same artist. It's a series, and this is the one that a lot of people recommend. It's called Reckless. So basically, it takes place in the 70s. They call it a dad comic because it's a comic that like your dad would enjoy. And it's about like, think of like those old 70s movies where there's like a private eye detective and he's got like his cool hangout spot. And this one, he like works out of an abandoned movie theater, and it's about solving, about a murder mystery. And there's a sequel, but each book is a full mystery. And then there's like several years in between them because not every case is interesting, is kind of how he was talking about it. But I listened to him on Kevin Smith, and then I listened to him again on the Word Balloon podcast. And I was like, okay, this guy's giving me like 6 hours of content of podcasts, so I should maybe support him and read one of his books.
You should have at least some knowledge behind the stories that he's written.
Right. But look at that. We love seeing
wow.
We love seeing women
Full
pleasure.
Frontal.
Right. And that's Jake, that's good to see. That's just straight
demonetized us now.
We have to have monetized first
all our ad revenue is gone now.
I thought our sponsor was Isabel.
Basically, she helps fund my comic obsession.
When is she gonna help fund one of my comic obsessions?
When you start texting her more. So time to go over the one book that I bought this week, which it's not an omnibus. It is a deluxe edition. So as we were talking about last week, oversized artwork. I don't know if this fully deserves the oversized artwork, although it's drawn by George Perez, which is pretty good. It's one that I think you still have on order and you haven't received yet. And we've been referencing, I think, since the first podcast. It is Batman, A Death in the Family.
I do have mine.
Okay, you already got yours.
Yeah.
So this is the book, and I know we've talked about it before, where it is the death of Jason Todd, the first death of a Robin.
And
Um,
that was a really cool thing. I mean, they had a phone line so you could call in and vote on whether or not he lived or died.
mhm. Yeah, so for that one exactly, they left it up to the last issue where they said, "What happens to Robin? Does he live or die?" And allegedly, there was one person that had the system rigged, where he had an automated system keep going and calling in every time, like every
Yeah.
couple seconds, to have it so that he would die no matter what.
I've also heard that he lost by one vote,
Eh, I heard
which
it
I
was a
doubt it.
pretty, yeah, I heard it was a pretty big landslide between the two.
I want to look for a George Perez interview where he talks about it, but I know people hated that Robin.
Yeah. So that was the big thing is not a lot of people like the Robin, Jason Todd, the second Robin.
It
So,
it, it also collects another amazing story called A Lonely Place of Dying,
mhm,
which is the introduction to the third Robin, Tim Drake.
yes, which we see a lot of Tim Drake in Nightfall, the comic that you definitely need the third omnibus of.
I think I do.
And whenever
I
you're ready,
uh
Jake, I told you the price.
I don't know what I gotta do. I think I gotta complete JSA first.
How many omnis are going to come out for JSA? Is it two or three?
There's three and I have two, but one came in and one hasn't come in yet.
Mm,
So I was thinking I didn't want to show off like two right now,
yeah.
but two just went out of print. There's only like 7 copies left on Amazon.
Mhm.
But I was thinking, man, there's so much money to be made selling comics on eBay that we can get on in stock trades for cheaper.
Yeah.
Because like I see people every day selling comics for so much money,
Hmm.
and um, I don't know. It's crazy to me because like they say some things are out of print. Like people are selling like the second JSA for like $200 on eBay right now, and it's 100 on Amazon, and I'm just like, do people not search around?
Yeah, I don't. I've noticed that too. A few things have been like that where, oh, something went out of print on in stock, but it's still available at like let's say Barnes and Noble or
Yeah,
Amazon. Yeah, I don't know what happens in that situation,
yeah.
but
People aren't as smart of a buyers as I am, I think.
eh, eh, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you're pretty smart. So I also noticed, and I think it's you that told me that No Man's Land is out of stock now.
Yes, Road to No Man's Land is out of
Yes.
print. Apparently, I bought it the last week.
Yeah.
That's
And
why mine took so long to come in, and it's completely gone.
because I saw the listings have gone up to 200 on Amazon,
Hmm.
which I think I paid 135 for. And I know you got a better deal than I did.
Have you ever bought from in stock trades?
Like twice.
I I got my trades that I ordered like a long time ago from them. It took like 2 months for them to arrive, but
Yeah.
the Cape Crusader 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm gonna wait till one comes in to show off that set.
Dude, that's gonna be an amazing collection.
Dude, there's another number one on eBay for like $40.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So you're gonna place the order for me, and it's my birthday present
When's your birthday? Is it coming up?
in months,
Oh, okay.
about 4 months.
I I've been holding off on omnibuses lately because I've been buying concert tickets since the world's getting back to normal
Ooh.
for
So
most
you're
of
gonna
us.
go see Porter Robinson?
I am. So he's doing his own festival in San Francisco, and we bought tickets to that. And he's playing with another artist named Madion that I really like, and he's playing with Jai Wolf, who we really like, and then everyone else is like really small and indie, and like I don't know any of them, but
Hmm.
I don't really have a huge interest to see them. So we
Yeah.
thought that was our only chance to see Porter. So we bought tickets, and like it's going to be expensive because it's a festival, and we also have to get like lodging and place to stay and that kind of stuff. And then afterwards, he announces that he's doing a tour and he's playing in LA with Jai Wolf. So it's like two of the three people we wanted to see for way cheaper, way more
Hmm.
local. And it's almost like I kind of wish we weren't going to see him twice in like a week. Um, but
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm excited. I I have friends going to the LA show, so
Hmm.
Um, like I think Bradley's going.
Oh,
Um,
that's cool.
yeah, so it'll be a good time. Um,
That's
what
dope,
were we
man.
talking about? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we're
just cool. It's cool to be vaccinated. It's cool to like to be less scared of going out in public and things like that.
mhm. Yeah, I'm only one shot in so far, which means I think they said it's about like an 80% coverage
Yeah.
for it. I got to get my second shot in about, I think, 2 more weeks from now.
Are you a Moderna mommy or a Pfizer puppy?
I'm a Moderna mommy.
Okay. I feel like I'm going to be judged for the rest of my life as a Johnson and Johnson person.
Yeah, Dick and Dick.
Well, the boot it, the hit it and quit it,
That one. Oh, the one and done.
the one and done.
Ooh, how's that blood clot doing for you?
Oh, it's great, man. I brought to you by our sponsor, Blood Clot. Will
Uh,
will the world open up to you more once you're vaccinated, or is there still no change?
dude, I'm hoping so because I miss going out.
Yeah,
I miss going to the movies. I think that's one of the biggest things because me and Isabel used to love seeing movies together.
maybe if you're allowed to, maybe we can see Suicide Squad together.
Yes. When is that supposed to come out?
Uh, End of July or beginning of August. I know in like other countries it's July 30th. I don't know if
Hmm.
it's coming out like beginning of August.
Yeah.
Um, there's also Black Widow and Shang-Chi.
Right. And there's also Venom Let There Be Carnage.
That's like way later though, I think. But we can talk about that trailer too. Did you see it?
I did see it, and I believe the release date's supposed to be in September.
Okay.
Yeah. But
You
yes, I
said,
did see the trailer. It looks actually pretty good.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I hear a lot of negative things about Venom. I also hear a lot of tepid things about Venom. I just feel like you just got to go in knowing it's going to be okay
Hmm.
and you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I've did you see the first Venom movie?
I did. I saw it in theaters, and then on the
Okay.
way home, my car got pulled over, and my registration was like super old. And I got my car towed, and of course, it was a 3 day weekend.
Gotcha. So it was a positive moment.
It was like $500 to get my car back.
Oh, dude, you always have like the shittiest of luck, bud.
Yeah, man, I do.
Okay, so back to topic. The first Venom movie, a lot of people, I guess, didn't really like it. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, if you go into it thinking like it's just another action movie, it's pretty fun. You just gotta keep in mind they're not gonna be true to the comics because how could they?
Yeah.
There's so much backstory for Venom that is alien and a lot of different things happen to it.
Also weird to do a Venom movie without Spider-Man because I feel like you need to
Yeah.
start out with Venom as the villain and then
Hmm.
you turn Venom into the anti-hero.
Yeah. Which I think the movie did pretty well in not having a Spider-Man in the movie, especially because I don't think Disney wants to associate Venom
Yeah.
with Spider-Man. Um, I think the biggest thing for the new movie is I felt like it's like weird casting to have Woody from Cheers as Cletus Cassidy.
I think he's a lot more than Woody from Cheers, dude. Woody Harrelson is a great actor. See, I'm just glad that they got him out of that god awful wig he was wearing at the end of the end of Venom.
Yeah.
He was wearing
Yeah.
his hair looked like you, but just blonde.
I was gonna say that toupee of fur on his head. Yeah. It's basically what my toupee is. But yeah,
Oh,
I didn't even
my
realize.
my favorite music artist just followed me right now.
A Porter Robinson followed you back.
Porter Robinson's actually my favorite. Swarty is my second favorite. My second favorite artist just followed me right now.
Gotcha. Swarty just followed you.
I love Swarty. Shout out to
Wow.
Swarty. Shout out to Swarty.
It's okay. He'll like this video.
He'll honestly probably watch it if I send it to him.
Yeah, that's dope.
He's really cool. Um, but sorry, back to what you're saying about Woody from Cheers' toupee.
Oh. I'm moving on from the toupee. His toupee is basically my hair.
Yes.
Um, yeah, it's
For
I
those
always
of you who
see him
don't
as
know,
just yeah, go for it.
the reason Jordan's hair is as luxurious as it
Oh
is he
no.
uses the 36 and 1
No,
Irish Spring.
I do not. I've been using a two-in-one shampoo and conditioner, which Isabel has gotten annoyed of. So she has now purchased a separate conditioner for me.
You know that you have to leave your conditioner in for a period of time, right?
Yes, I know I have to leave the conditioner in for a period of time.
Jordan texted me the other day and he was like, if it's called tear-free shampoo, why am I still crying?
It's, no, it's not that depressive in the showers. Um, Back to Woody Harrelson. I can only see him as the dumb guy from Cheers.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just me.
What about like Zombieland? He was so good in that.
I didn't.
Or you haven't
Okay.
seen Zombieland?
I was gonna say I've seen parts of Zombieland. I've never seen Zombieland the full way through.
Oh my God, Zombieland is so good. You're missing out.
I just barely saw him today in Now You See Me. Or is
I
it Now You
actually,
See Me?
I actually see love Now You See Me in like a
Mm-hmm.
fun bad movie way. I even went to see Now You See Me 2, which could have been spelled TOO and been amazing.
That would have been better.
I saw that in theaters. I was with one
Ooh.
friend and there was one like 80-year-old lady in the theater, nobody else. So to be funny, I sat exactly next to the 80-year-old lady.
Dude, did she reach for your hand?
Oh, no, thankfully.
Did you feel a pulse?
Um, I not. I mean, some scenes more than others.
Oh, oh. Is it when Woody Harrelson was on the screen?
Nah, she liked Jesse Eisenberg,
Oh, and then she saw him in Superman, Batman v Superman.
and she was like, "The bell's already been rung." That's still not my worst person I've ever sat next to in a movie. Do you remember the Meg?
Yeah.
I sat next to this guy who was wearing chanclas, and he takes them off, and he's just one foot's bare
Yes.
ass in it on the ground, the other foot's across his legs, and
Did he pet you with
near
it?
near me, and he's just rubbing
Yeah.
his toes.
Oh, he was getting
he's
deep in them.
he's getting in there, man. Like he was working out a bunion or something. And this
So
was a I think
gross.
this was a Dolby Atmos movie. Like so my seat was like rumbling a little bit, and I'm just
Yeah.
like so his like toes are
Mhm.
just dude, it was the most distracting thing ever. I mean, it doesn't take much to distract you from the Meg.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think it's very hard.
um but back to Woody Harrelson's toupee.
Yeah. Is that where we left off on?
Are we just gonna keep? I'm just gonna keep listing off good movies with Woody Harrelson. He's incredible in Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Okay, haven't seen that one.
You gotta watch films, man. You're over here watching Now You See Me, and you haven't watched Three Billboards Out. Dude, Three Billboards stars Sam Rockwell from Iron Man 2,
Wow. It's
and
such a big cast already.
so good, man.
Yeah. So back to Woody Harrelson's toupee.
Our sponsor
Oh, can we get a toupee company for a sponsor?
with your hair, I think we can.
Would you wear one?
Um, in support, sure. Honestly, man, I'll wear anything from. I'll sell out. I'll do whatever they want for money.
I saw what you were posting on Twitter about doing a nude podcast.
Hey, it's what the people want.
I don't think anyone liked that one in.
Yeah, I got zero likes. I think I got one, and it was myself. I
I noticed you tweet yourself on Twitter, right? Like,
I do, but it's okay because I have a voice for the podcast and I have a voice for myself.
mm, because yeah, I have no access to any of our like social media, YouTube, whatnot.
I
It's
will give
just
you
all you,
all
bud.
this. I'll give you all this stuff after the this episode.
I want to see what our demographics like.
You want to see our average view count of a minute 40?
Yes.
I went to the gym with my friend Josh, and he was like, "So I watched 25 minutes of your fourth episode or your third episode," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And he's like, "I took notes and I had some suggestions," and I'm like, "That's like
Ooh.
such a constructive friend right there."
Mm-hmm. What
Um,
any notes that we should be working on right now?
yeah, his main thing was that we should try to be a bit more organized.
Especially how we did start talking about comics and now we can't get off of
Woody
Woody
Harrelson's
Harrelson's
toupee.
toupee. Yeah.
Um, and he had one other thing. I forget what he was saying, but honestly, he was just saying that the quality seemed to have dipped in terms of the video from the second episode to the third episode.
Right? That's what I was saying. that was my whole thing. Is I was watching the second episode and I was like, dude, it looks like shit.
Yeah, it did not look very good.
But hopefully we've solved that issue. And if you're watching the episode right now and it still looks like shit, we haven't solved it.
Yeah, we are trying. We
Yeah.
have a whole thing with a cool background.
Hmm.
If it worked, then you are like, yeah, dumbass. I know it has a cool background.
Yeah.
Um, and if it didn't work,
It
we were
looks just
supposed
like
to have a
episode
cool
two.
background.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Let's get back to our comic books. So
Yes. I did a lot of reading this week.
I did some reading this week. I did a moderate amount.
I read 7 trades of Invincible.
I didn't do that much.
Invincible is such a light, like such a breezy light read.
See,
Um,
it looks dense, but
it
it's
is not. It is a light read.
yeah. Okay, that's
Um,
good to hear.
off the bat, the show is better.
Mm,
You could
mm.
tell that in 10 years, Robert Kirkman became a better writer.
Okay.
Some things that did not age well in the book, he completely changed. Like they use the homophobic phrase "this is so gay" a lot in regards to like William, but William is like straight in the show. Sorry,
Hmm.
in the book. But they make him gay and it fits his character in the show. They also
Hmm.
like they speed up a lot of things like they've been dealing with like the robot, like the guy who turns college students into robots for like
Hmm.
3 trades now.
Oh, fuck. And where it's
And
only the one episode.
yeah,
Okay.
um, they cut out this whole first arc of like him dealing with the science teacher that's like mad at popular kids, so he turns students into bombs.
Hmm.
Um, Robert Kirkman said in the Kevin Smith podcast, he said that it felt too Scooby Doo,
That's funny.
and and then Kevin Smith was like, it's also kind of similar to the turning kids into robots, and he was just like, is that a note?
That's good.
Um, but so yeah, they made some changes, but honestly, it is still really fucking good.
Okay.
Um, I hope it doesn't ruin the show for me. I hope it adds a new depth. So I hope I'm able to be like, oh, they did that, or they changed this, or they whatever. But
Hmm.
Invincible just left me wanting more, man. It left me wanting more. So I've been just devouring the trades.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm in the same boat as you, but I want to buy the physicals. Although I see all of them now, like you said last time, we're back ordered until next month.
Yeah,
Yeah, just so many people are trying to jump in on it right now, and I'm trying to be one of those people.
yeah.
But it's cool. It's dope.
I should have let you go first because that would have been a perfect segue into our digital versus physical comics.
Oh, that would have been amazing. But I have another segue. Talking about wanting more, I felt that same exact way reading a comic that I got last week, which was Batman Damned.
Did it leave you wanting more bat penis?
They didn't put the Bat Dong in here. I wish they would have. It okay. There was controversy to that because this was the beginning of DC Black Label. I think we've talked about this before. So this book kicks off the whole label itself. Now, in the first issue, Batman hate hangs straight dong, which in this issue or in this version, it's just shadowed out. But I feel like it would have added more to the scene. The reason being is it shows there's a scene later, like on the next page, where because he's naked, he's vulnerable, and he has this psychological episode where the bat suit reaches out to grab him, like he can't escape from it. It's pretty good. So that's my opinion about the whole book. In all honesty,
Is that it's pretty good?
it's pretty good.
Really? I heard it wasn't.
Okay, I 100% get what people were talking about with this book. So to give a premise of it, the premise of this book, in which I found out after I read it, is it's a sequel, which
Didn't know that.
I'll get into it right now. So this book is a sequel to another Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo book called Joker, which I left something out about what we purchased as a surprise. So uh it takes place immediately after that comic. The premise is that the Joker's dead.
Mm.
Um, no one knows how, no one knows who, but Batman has to figure out and investigate who killed the Joker. Now, that's just the basic premise, and that's all I could truly say about the plot of this story without giving it away, because there are a couple of big things in this comic that definitely hit harder if you don't know what happens, because it's definitely something you have to go back and read at least one other time to truly get all the little metaphors that they're putting in. Now, I thought it was really good. You can't look at it as just another Batman comic. It's more like a psychological issue on what Batman is, and acceptance is the biggest key to this comic. Um, it's truly stylized in Lee Bermejo's realism, because that's just how he draws art. And I'll even show, because I have it. When I found out that this was a sequel, I went out and bought Joker.
Oh, that art looks crazy.
It is
You
insane.
also have the exact same hair as the Joker on that cover.
Right?
Make that face. Amazing.
The red off of the lips also matches the red from my mic.
Right?
Um, so Lee Bermejo's art definitely works for these comics, because it's one of the most realistic Jokers out there. He's not just like an agent of chaos or a god who brings chaos throughout the different centuries as portrayed by Grant Morrison. Um,
Are there three of them or just one?
there's not three Jokers. There's just the one. Now, these books are not for the average reader or someone that just wants to read a happy-go-lucky comic. These are extremely dark.
That is dark. That's the look that Jan would give me when I didn't get the go backs quick enough.
Yes. It's so there are themes in this book. Of course, as the Joker goes, there's murder, crime, but there's darker stuff and psychological issues, like being having like an extreme case of bipolar, as well as other things such as rape. In both books, there are a rape scene, which one is portrayed better or easier to swallow than the other. Because
I
one
was
is,
almost I was almost gonna try to make a joke off that, but I didn't want to be demonetized even further.
I know you already showed nudes on here. Um, I think okay. A lot of people praise Joker to be a great comic book because it's not your typical Joker. It's not just the agent of chaos that comes through Gotham, destroys something, and plans against Batman. It shows kind of like what the life of a criminal would be like if he had a lot of mental issues and did a lot of drugs. So, everyone praises Joker for being great. I think Batman Damned is the better of the two books.
Really?
I
Did you already
really,
read Joker as well, or
I did. I binged it as soon as I got it. I read it in one sitting. Batman Damned, I definitely am gonna have to go through again, because there are a lot of themes portrayed throughout the book of once you understand the ending of it, it makes more sense to
yeah?
what's happening, especially because Batman Damned was originally supposed to start off as just a kind of like Justice League Dark, but for Black Label.
Hmm.
And as you know, for Justice League Dark, you have a lot of people on there like Constantine, Swamp Thing, Zatanna, like a lot of your magic users from the DC universe are there. They still make their way into this book. The narrator of the book being John Constantine.
Ooh.
Yeah. Um, you have other appearances such as Zatanna, Swamp Thing. You even have, oh my goodness, I'm
Do you
always
have
gonna forget his
do
name.
you have Etrigan?
You have Etrigan. Thank you. You have Etrigan in the book.
Etrigan
Um,
is a demon who can only rhyme.
yeah, which I like the way what they portray him in here, because he's a rapper.
That's
It's pretty fucking funny.
that's too much, man.
No, like okay, you'll read it, and there are some parts that are pretty comedic for how dark of a book it is. It works is the scary thing. But
I'll take your word for it. I will
yeah,
eventually read it. I got a backlog. Have you finished Infinite Crisis, or did this was this a pause?
this was a pause because I read I went back and read Dead Earth or Wonder Woman Dead Earth, um, because I finally got it as the complete hardcover. Um, that was a great comic book. I went back. I did miss say something last week, which was her beloved Batman. It wasn't truly her beloved, although he does basically save her in the comic.
So you take back calling Wonder Woman a slut?
You said, not me.
Oh,
Listen, you saw
I think she's a strong, independent woman, and
you saw what happened in the Batman Dark Knight Returns or Dark Knight Strikes Again,
yes,
which is a absolute tragedy for everybody who read that book. Um, but yes, I went back. I read that book. I read Damned, and then after I read Damned, I ordered Joker, and I read it the next day. I have taken a pause on Infinite Crisis. I'm still in the middle, but I'm going to jump back into it because it is a dense book.
I can imagine. I uh I also I started I got like halfway through the Longbow Hunters. Um, it's dark and gritty.
Mm-hmm.
The art's phenomenal. Um, but I'm gonna wait till I finish reading it to talk about it. So it's been cool to read, man. But it's just been cool to read again. Like I really like this podcast because it's giving me a reason to read comics again, and not just
Yeah,
buy them.
yeah. I think we both hit that little plateau for a moment where we were just buying certain omnibuses because they're dope and they're
Yeah,
cool, and it would be cool to read them. But yeah,
yeah,
for a good little while, I think we took a pause.
yeah. Um, but that's the thing, man. I mean, you buy omnibuses because they look nice on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's I guess kind of segues us into our digital versus physical comic thing. Is you omnibuses are kind of unwieldy,
Yeah.
so I guess I'll go first and kind of just say some pros and cons between the two different formats.
Mm-hmm.
To answer Paul's question off the bat, I think I weirdly prefer digital comics in terms of reading,
Mm-hmm.
but I love collecting comics, and it's not the same. I can stuff an iPad full of every comic book I want, and then instead of carrying around giant tomes, I'm
Mm-hmm.
carrying around a lightweight thing, and
Yeah.
it's oversized like an absolute. You turn it sideways for a double page spread, and it's I mean especially the 12.9 iPad is
Mm-hmm.
the perfect comic book reading device ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's something about it where when you're physically reading a comic book, the experience is just so good because you don't have any distractions. You don't have text messages or notifications coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's also so much easier just to lie in bed with an iPad and hit turn the page like this.
Yeah.
So I read Invincible digitally. I
Mm-hmm.
uh I'm not a fan. I don't try to support torrenting comics. So my rule is I'll only ever torrent a comic if I own it or will buy it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So right now with Invincible, I'm just waiting until the hype dies down and then I'm gonna buy them. Um, but it's kind of crazy that I posted a photo of like this many comic books I bought, yet I'm reading something digitally.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could always put this in the perspective of other mediums, such as uh, it's more of an experience to play vinyl versus listening to a streamed music, or
Yeah,
like going to the movie theaters to watch a movie versus watching a movie at your house.
yeah,
Um, it's the experience behind it, the smell of having a new book, the crack of a new omnibus spine, which, gosh darn, have I cracked that Infinite Crisis spine a couple of times already. Um, it's the little nuances that really bring out more of an experience, and I do think that digital does have its benefits, but it's very restricted to what you're reading it on. For instance, like how you did say, Jake, the 12.9-inch iPad, phenomenal because you're basically getting the same size pages as an omnibus page.
mhm,
Whereas I was reading on a 10-inch 10-inch tablet where every other panel, depending on how big the font was, I had to zoom in just to see what they were saying, which kind of takes you out of the experience of just going through each page.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas for a comic book, if you get the oversized ones, it's a lot easier to see. But even just like a standard comic, pretty good. I mean, they're at least, what is it? I think it's 11 inches tall.
Yeah.
So you're still getting that nice sized format.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it comes down to the fact that if someone wants to start reading comics, digital is an amazing place to start.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend Marvel Unlimited or DC Unlimited. They both have a service where you pay monthly or yearly. I think I pay like $60 a year and I don't even ever use it. For DC Universe, it's just like I forget about it. And I used to have it when it was a streaming service, but
Mm-hmm.
you get every comic book 6 months after release.
Yeah.
So if you want to test out some things and read them like that before you buy them, amazing place to start. And honestly, that's all I want. It's more people to actually read comics. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's easier for you to read something digitally, go for it. If it's easier to buy a trade, go for it.
Yeah.
I just want more people to start branching out and trying out comics because people love them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. I've gone through phases where I don't read anything physically and I just read digitally. And then I go through phases where I can't even stand to read something digitally and I have to read physical.
Yeah.
And it's weird for me to flip flop because there are pros and cons to both.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I mean like that's the one thing. Omnibuses are hard to physically read.
Yeah.
It's like
And
it's
then
like reading a
store.
textbook. Yes.
Yeah, is a so as I point to every single episode, my bookshelf back there, it is full, which means any omnibus that I purchase now has to go somewhere else, which I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. And it's also like I would be trepidatious to bring an omnibus with me to work and
Oh
read on my
yeah.
lunch break.
Oh my goodness, just hauling around a
I brought
1400 page book.
yeah, I brought Dark Knight Returns to work just because it wasn't my book, so I didn't care if anything bad happened to it.
Hey, hey.
It's so greasy now.
Oh, I want to take some alcohol pads to it.
Um, so what I'll say is the system I found that works for me is if I'm still reading something week to week, like I am with Batman, or I just started Robin and Infinite Frontier. I haven't read those yet, but I'm gonna read them tomorrow. I will read week to week comics digitally.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they come out in trade or however they're released, I'll buy them in a collected edition because a collected edition I think is my ideal way to collect comics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Either in omnibus or deluxe edition. Um, I think that's really the go-to way. Trades are nice if you're trying to get into like a new series or you're testing out the waters because they're relatively inexpensive. I mean, what, like roughly $10 for a trade?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Whereas Omni, you looking kind of minimum is starting price around 75 and then definitely can go up from there. Just depends how big the book is.
yeah. They can definitely go up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
both of the omnibuses I bought were like $50 I think for
Okay.
Super Sons and Planetary. Planetary is like $40.
Oh, that's pretty good for an Omni. I thought I saw the
Yeah,
Planetary Omnibus for like 80 the other day.
maybe
Was
I know the Absolute's 100.
it might be okay. Maybe it was the Absolute that I was taking a look at. That was that higher price tag.
Yeah,
Yeah. Absolutes I think are definitely they're not for everyone. For an Absolute, it's definitely something where you probably already own a version of that comic, and you liked it so much that you want an Absolute. You want that oversized format
it
for it.
it almost feels like sacred to read an Absolute.
Yeah.
You sit down at this massive book with massive pages and it feels
Mm-hmm.
like you have reverence like it's hard to explain
Mm-hmm.
like my salmon absolutes like it feels like I'm reading a bible when I read them.
Oh my goodness. I remember you loaned me that first Absolute. It is an amazing one to read in Absolute format.
I forgot about that. You read Sandman?
I read the first volume.
is so good.
It's so good. Oh, he kept going back to the bar every
Yeah,
other
and
century. Oh,
what a twist, dude. Because like you think he's gonna learn his lesson by the end, and he's like, I'm never gonna learn my lesson. I am who I am.
yeah. Oh my
And
God.
then and then he's like, I think he just wanted a friend, and he's like, yep.
Yeah, you expect that curveball of he's gonna be like, oh, please kill me. I've lived through all these thousands of years, and oh, to end with he comes back because he's his friend.
Ah,
Oh,
dude, I love Sandman. Oh, maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'm really torn. I want to do a chronological Batman so bad.
yeah.
Uh, what was I gonna tell you? Do you own Batman by Loeb?
Batman. Yeah, the yeah, like Long Halloween and what you
Dark
call it?
Victory?
Dark Victory. Yeah.
You have the omnibus?
Hmm.
Thank God. That's like the best omnibus.
Oh my goodness. If you're like trying to start Batman, that's
Yeah.
a really good beginning place.
I, that or Scott Snyder's omnibus are probably the two best to
Yeah.
get started with.
Oh my, yeah. I for a little bit I had my Batman omnibus in order, including
Mm.
deluxe editions, because I decided that I'm gonna try to collect Batman in deluxe or oversized format. So I have like year one and deluxe edition. I
Nice.
have then the Jeff Loeb omnibus, and then I have next is gonna go in line. Was it the Death and
Nice.
Family, and then I have
Nice.
Nightfall, and then on and on and on and on. Yeah,
Damn.
that's my goal, is to try to get that oversized format for
Would you sell me
crisis.
your Nightfall 3 for $200 if I gave you the trade of Nightfall 3?
Okay, you got to hear me out. When I was a teenager, when I used to go to the mall and hang out with my friends, I used to stare at those compendiums of Nightfall,
Yeah.
and I went, "That's so cool. One day I'm gonna buy it, but $30 a book is kind of expensive."
Yeah.
Now I drop $100 something a book, and I go, "It's worth it."
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever give up my my omnibus because it's the same feeling, but now just better.
That's a crazy thing too. I was in a similar boat. I always wanted to read comics as a kid,
Yeah.
but my parents would never buy me them. I remember
Yes.
the first trade my parents bought me before I left for summer camp. Ready
Hmm.
for the first trade that I read as a kid?
What was it?
Uh Final Crisis.
Oh no, the hardest comic book to read.
I was too young to know that it was hard to read though.
Dude, did you look at it and you went, "That looks so cool"?
I was like, Batman's murdered on the cover. What?
The mega beams,
Yeah.
Dark Side.
Boss Darkseid actually.
Yeah, it was. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Boss Dark Side, owner of what was it? The Fourth
Com-
World or
Command D.
Apocalypse? Yes. Oh, that's
Um,
so good.
but that and then 52 was the other one I read. I read them backwards, but 52,
Hmm.
dude, 52 is out of print everywhere. So thank God I have the two trades.
I hope they do a reprint of 52.
I heard the omnibus is pretty garbage. Like I there was a reason I didn't, because 52 is one of my favorite storylines,
Hmm.
but I heard the omnibus was garbage.
Hmm. Odd.
There,
Dude,
I remember I own like I bought the second volume of 52
hmm.
digitally because I was reading it and I left it at work when I was gone for the weekend. So I was like, fuck it, I'm not waiting. I'm just gonna buy the digital comic book and keep reading.
Or you could have gone to work and just taken it.
Yeah, I could have. This was back when I worked at the Glendora Best Buy and I wasn't driving that year.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, did I ever tell you what my first trade I ever read?
No.
So, I believe I was either 14 or 15. I purchased it on my own with like the $12 that I had. The first trade I ever read was Daniel Wade's Deadpool Volume 4,
Why'd you start with four?
because I didn't know that there was different volumes. I thought it was just you pick one up and you start reading.
Yeah. And honestly, that's all it should be, dude.
Yeah. So
Wasn't it easier back then?
yeah, so I picked it up and I started reading. I was like, what happened? Why is he like this? And then I leave it off at the end and it's a like big cliffhanger because a villain from a previous trade had come back, and I went, "Who is this guy?" And then to this day, I still don't know what happens next. I have now 1 through 4, but I don't know what the next part of Daniel Wade's run is because I think he got taken off the book.
No, it ends on a cliffhanger.
It's, I think they started like a mini event, which I think it was the wedding of Deadpool, and then it leads into the wedding of Deadpool trade, but I don't believe that's the true, like it's the ending of it. It's just they jump to a new event. So I to this day I no
Your
fucking clue.
your first book was Marvel.
It was a Marvel because it was Deadpool. Deadpool was cool. And
Yeah.
this was before the Deadpool the movie.
The first omnibus I ever read was Marvel. I had a friend named Alex Jones who had a big comic book collection. His parents were pretty well off.
Was
And
he
he
talking
loved
about gay frogs?
oh right,
Uh,
Alex Jones.
yes.
Uh I know what a bad name. And he's like tries to be out in media. Like I think he does like a comic book like he interviews like comic book people.
Oh,
Um but he loaned me the Daredevil by Bendis Omnibus Volume 1
okay.
and I devoured it in like a day. Like I read it the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I borrowed volume 2 and it was incredible.
Dude, that's dope.
I
That's a
thought
good one
about
to get into.
I thought about rebuying it just because it's so good, but I don't know. It's something about buying a Marvel omnibus. It just feels like I'd be opening myself up to all Marvel omnibuses.
Yeah, that's okay. So back to my issue with Marvel. Their storyline starts in the 60s and it never fucking ends.
Um,
There's never a hard reboot like they do in DC, so there's not a new starting point. It's just a new creator is on the book and they have to kind of take over what the last creator was setting up. So
that's that's
that
interesting.
that's the hard part with Marvel is a lot of their books just you'll have one series of it going. Like for instance, Spider-Man. You have like what is it, 4 omnibuses of Spider-Man, which is the Stan Lee part Steve Ditko's part. I always forget who takes over Steve Ditko's drawings. I think it's Ramita Junior. Oh no, Ramita Senior, not Junior.
Yeah.
Um,
So the art is good.
the art's actually good. It's not the same fucking character for every scene. Now, Ramita Jr. will come to draw the book later down the line, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, there's like 4 volumes. This Amazing Spider-Man, like OG, and then there's a different set because a different creator. It gets complicated quick.
Yeah. I don't got the money to collect Marvel.
Yeah, that Marvel, in all honesty, is the better of the two for Omnis
Oh, 100%.
because they go for completion.
Every single day Omar posts a video of like these 3 omnibuses
Coming out next year in January.
2022 and February 2022.
Yes. Dude, I think
Um,
it's I never realized when I first started getting the comics that I would ever go, I'm looking forward to next year when this omnibus comes out.
yeah. But seriously though, man, like I have an entire calendar of like books that are coming out when they're coming out and
Yeah.
when I will be buying them
Yeah.
because there's different ways to do omnibuses. Like you can pre-order them like 6 months ahead of time through.
Mm-hmm.
There's like an alternative to in stock trades. It's called like DCBS or some shit. Um, but I play the short game, so I wait till they're uploaded on in stock and buy them.
Yeah.
But they sell
Dude,
out quick.
the next one I think I'm really looking forward to is No Man's Land Volume 1.
That's in like a year. There's so many important omnibuses in between
It's
then.
it's later this year. Actually, I do need to bring up a point because I was hyped the moment that I saw this book was being
Yeah.
released. It's not an Omni, but it's something I've been waiting for the last, oh my goodness, 5 years, since 4 years since the last one came out. Uh, it is Jeff Johns' Batman, Earth One.
Oh, volume 3.
Volume 3 comes out next month. I'm gonna put on pre-order.
Okay. Do you have 1 and 2?
Of course.
I've never read them.
Oh, they're so fucking good.
I
If
uh I just recently reread 3 Joker and I actually liked it a lot more the second time.
I think I'm gonna buy it, Three Jokers as a hardcover.
I'm just waiting for an absolute that'll never come.
I want a deluxe edition. Like, I think that's the format for. I think deluxe edition like fits almost everything.
You just like you don't want Gary Frank's art on a trade.
Yeah, exactly. I want Gary Frank's art oversized because that art is stupendous. But
Um,
yes,
it's
Jeff
so good.
Jeff Johns Batman Volume 3, fucking the first two absolutely amazing. Like, I remember reading Volume 1 for the first time ever. I think that was back in 2016, which I believe was first released in 2013.
Mhm.
Again, I was barely getting into comics then. Um, I read that one, and then I remember when Volume 2 got announced, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome, Volume 2." That was 2017,
Damn.
and I have been waiting ever since. But
I gotta
yes,
check it out. It's like a more realistic Batman, right?
it's it's a new Batman, in yes, based off of a more realistic situation. It's a retelling, not of his origins, because everyone knows Batman's origin, but like it's basically like a rewritten year one.
That's interesting. I'll definitely borrow it before it comes out and read it. Um,
I
I'm
love it.
excited.
Yeah.
That's all. We talked a lot about comics today, man. Should
Wow.
we? Did you get a chance to watch Bad Batch?
Yes, I did watch. I watched the first episode. I didn't see the second one.
I watched the second episode today, and I like the second episode a lot more. It's like a short, breezy, like 22-minute episode,
Mm-hmm.
and it is just everything good about Star Wars.
Yeah, I hadn't. I love Star Wars. I haven't kept up with it though since the end of the last trilogy.
Okay.
Um,
So have you watched any of Clone Wars or Rebels?
I've seen. Okay, I used to watch Clone Wars back when it was first coming out on Cartoon Network.
Okay.
Rebels, I missed entirely.
Rebels is fucking amazing, dude.
I've heard it's pretty good, but back when I was
Rebels
seeing the trailers come out, it was different.
Rebels made me cry on multiple occasions, a feat Clone Wars never did.
Mm. See, I loved the story of
Yeah,
Clone Wars.
Dave Filoni's a god. But yeah, talk to me, man. What'd you like? What'd you like about the first episode? What were your thoughts or your predictions or your theories?
So first episode, that was pretty good. I mean, it definitely felt like a mini movie
Yeah,
because
it was long.
it's an hour and something long.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, it's promising. It's kind of rehashing some of like the side stories that you would get out of Clone Wars. Um, but definitely it takes place during Order 66, or like the events right
yes, during a
after,
very interesting time period. Like it
which
coincides with episode three.
yeah, which as soon as they said that Obi-Wan Kenobi was going to go and defeat General Grievous, I went, holy shit, they're going to do the Order 66 on the episode.
Yeah,
And then
they waste no time doing it.
immediately they do it, and I go,
I got chills when they said it.
execute Order 66. And yeah, that was cool to see a rogue squadron. Not a reference to Rogue One, but they didn't do it. Or
They got a
four,
young Forrest Whitaker in there.
yeah. Four of them didn't try to murder, but yeah. Uh it was pretty cool. I liked it. It was kind of dragging on at little times, but
Yeah, I think that is why episode two is good is because it wastes no time and it's like bing bang boom. Also, way more heartfelt, way more touching.
mhm.
Like they slather on thick like the fact that like she's their daughter basically like she's like they're a family unit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it's very much Mandalorian in the sense of like we have become a family without meaning to be, but we're a family.
You know what? I lied. I said I'm gonna keep up with Star Wars. I watched Mandalorian. I watched season one and
Yeah,
two. Um, but
fucking
yeah,
late though.
I like binging my shit. The only reason why I watched this episode was because we were gonna have a discussion about it on the podcast if I did.
Yeah, and I think we should try to continue because it's super fucking good. It's peak Star Wars.
Yeah, it
Dave
seems good.
Filoni is a king.
I I definitely love the animation, which they kind of beefed it up from Clone Wars.
Yeah,
It's unique, it's distinct. Yeah, I think it's I hope it's gonna end as a pretty cool story have a feeling it's gonna be one of those endings where, and then they all died.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a gut punch.
Yeah.
Any theories on who the little girl is, who Omega is?
Oh my goodness. I mean, they say that she's a clone, but I don't know what female.
Dude, think of
Yeah,
her hair. Look at her, think about her hair, right? Can you picture what she looks like?
I'm trying. I'm picturing it now. Yeah.
And then
Look,
think of oh my God, who's like the bad guy? The Grand Admiral, the Grand Moff Tarkin.
oh, you're talking about
The,
Gus
the
from.
no, the old man, the one that was like gonna get rid of the clones, who was
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
testing
yeah,
them.
yeah, 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 yeah.
My God, why am I blanking on fucking Grand what's his fucking name? It's
Grand Admiral something.
no, that's Grand, not Grand Admiral Thrawn. Is it Moth? Not Moth Gideon. That's the one from,
That's what I was saying. Gus from Breaking Bad, Moff Gideon.
right. I can't believe I'm blanking on like one of the most iconic Star Wars characters. Um, fucking here.
Yeah, you looked that shit up, boy.
I'm
Let's
such a
see,
bad Star Wars fan. Everyone's gonna hate me, dude.
dude. It's okay. I don't know either.
I'm
Let's
looking at the
see.
IMBD of A New Hope. Grand Moff Tarkin. I said it right.
Okay, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Let
Pretty
me show you
sure.
right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I know who you're talking about. Let me see.
Uh,
Pull up the picture.
yeah, I'm gonna pull up a picture right now. They
They. Yes, 100%.
so this is what he looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I think she's a female clone of him because they have the exact same hair.
Do they?
Yeah,
She's got the widow peak going on.
is Omega.
You can't just search it
I'm
up.
gonna search it. I bet it is. I bet it is, man.
Yeah,
Um,
they said in book 6 of the Star Wars books, saying how he had a clone at one time.
did they really?
No, I have no fucking clue, dude.
Oh my God.
I think this is a new story altogether.
Yeah. Look at you saw her hair. Now look at her hair. It's like it's like exactly the same. You disagree? She's got it. She's got to be. I think she's. I don't know. She's either a clone of that or she's got to be a female clone of Boba Fett.
That's what I was thinking, was that they altered the genetics to make a female Boba Fett.
Because like she's just like she shot that shot and she was like a great shooter,
Yeah, dead on, right onto the rifle.
right? That was a good fucking shot.
She should
There's
have
some cool
just taken
parts.
him out.
Like I like when they shoot the knife and the knife goes flying into the robot.
Yeah,
There's some
uh,
cool shit.
I mean, super predictable on how the dude was gonna turn
Yeah,
on everyone, and you're like, dude, someone just put him down already.
yeah. But that's their homie, dude.
Eh,
Who's a
listen,
snitch? No, we don't fuck with.
yeah, I was gonna say he reported them.
That's so much effort, dude. We don't like people that report things to HR.
Oh no. Yeah, true.
Cool, man. So we touched on some good things. We touched on our new hauls. We touched
Mm-hmm.
on comics that we're reading, digital versus physical.
Yeah.
We touched on toupees, bat
Mm-hmm.
penises,
Bat dong.
bat dong dong. Yeah, man. I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're running a little longer than our normal episodes.
Yeah, we're an hour and 9 right now.
Damn.
Well,
Who's
thank you
gonna
guys.
watch a
So
whole hour 9 of us?
probably just me on the treadmill.
Yeah, I'll probably have it on in the background.
I'm glad you. This time you're gonna smash that like button.
Yeah, try.
Okay. Have a good night, man.
You too, bud. Until next time.
Until
Bye,
next time.
everyone.
Bye bye.